Hello guys, today I'm gonna be making a full tutorial on how to play Evolve 3D. So first, let me Gigantosaurus. Now, this is the size plot that you're gonna usually have. So, if you want to change it, click F2 if you're on computer, then resize. Now, type that in, and then you're gonna want to type this exactly how I did. Now, that's an uppercase P, and the rest of these are just normal, like a lowercase. Now, you're gonna want to put a space bar, and then any number you want. But remember, it could only be like 1,300 blocks or something. So, let's say you want to make a skinny thing, a skinny long guy. You're gonna want 5 with 20. Yeah, that is an example. Then let me change it back to 11. So the first one is with that one, and the second one over there, the one in the middle, is gonna be height, and this one is depth, aka the length. So anyway, you might want to start out as a little boy. I personally like to put intestines in all my creatures. Now, out of all of these, I recommend omnivore mouth, or put a carnivore or herbivore mouth. But that's more convenient, but it does take up more blocks and it takes up more DNA. So what we're gonna want to do now, that we add a tail. Yeah, we need some speed. We need some speed. He needs some speed. He needs some speed. Now, as you can see, this is what we've cooked up. 17 DNA. You start off 50. Don't queech on how I got that much DNA. Don't queech on it, okay? Now we have a little boy, just a basic, good old little boy. You can't go wrong with this. He's a boy. I don't know. Doesn't really matter gender, but he's a little guy. He's gonna go around and eat these or scavenge and find food. You can't attack with omnivore mouth or herbivore mouth, but you can with carnivore. Now once you get like a fair amount of moolah, once you get a fair amount of money, money! Once you get a fair amount of Mr. Krabs currency, you're gonna wanna so let's clear a plot. This clears your plot, and as you can see, click save and load. This is optional. You can't put note name. You could. Sometimes I like to just put space bars. Like, can't come up with a name. These are really important because they get parasites off of you. So now let's make something better. Let's give him some spikes. Let's let him cause some sadness. No, I don't think. No, you're gonna want to do that, and then Yeah, now we put eyes. I personally like to put it. Let me just. Where's on the wall? There. There. Now, Max Reforce. These are shooting for, but they take away health, which is very important. Those brains give you more XP, and or basically where you put your consciousness at. Now, gut. Just read that. Just read that. I'll give you some time. Yeah, that's what it does. Now, we can't really go wrong with this. He's a little boy, and he'll just eat up what he eats. Maybe this wasn't. Maybe we wouldn't want that. That doesn't have to be like that. You just no. Now we need some health. I'm showing out too much appetite. Let's just call this a day and add some. We're calling this a day. We can't really go wrong with this. Well, I think. Now. Have this thing. I recommend omnivore when you first start out. But first, let me check this thing's DNA cost. Good. Alrighty. So this thing, it says spawn. You can't really go wrong with that. You will lose 0 DNA on death. Now, there's menu, which brings you to the menu. Now we're gonna want to click spawn and then click that spawn. And now we have a little boy. We can't really go wrong with this. He's little, and he'll just eat up what he can eat up. We can't really go wrong with this. I'll tell you that. Now, on PC, if you want to, and also I don't really know how to do the keybind to change your plot size on mobile. Now, on keyboard, if you want to change like your camera, so it usually sets it like that. Click Control. That little Control button over there, it makes you do that. Now, Electrolyte, good for stunning creatures, and also good for getting old pesky parasites off of you, because they tend to have things that kill you. Even though the point of a parasite is to keep the host alive so that you get a benefit. And you steal the host's benefit. That's the point of a parasite. Now age, you get older, now, this gives you more XP, as you can clearly see. Now, you can't really go wrong with this. These spikes deal 2 damage. They take double the amount of the carnivore mouth. Now, we have a little boy. We can't go wrong with this. Now, when you make like 100 DNA, here's what you should do. Obviously, we need some of these. Now what I recommend is getting a herbivore mouth because you get more food and XP from eating, and a carnivore mouth. Now we can't really go wrong with this. What's this thing? Swim speed? Not too bad. That's its swim speed. Not too bad. I'm good. It kind of matters for placement on the electrolyte. Now we can't really go wrong with this. Now, what you're gonna want to do? Get these. Good. They don't take away any swim speed. Now, what's this thing's health? It's pretty decent. But we are gonna want to add some of these. Low HP, low torque. See, yeah, low torque. You know what that means? Yeah, torque is? It lets your creature turn. So we're gonna get rid of one of those, and we are going to add a fin. See, those increase your torque. Actually, no. Those are a scam. Now, what is not a scam, we're gonna add, first we're gonna add this back. Now, I'll recommend fins. Just add bottom legs or average Joe legs, as you can clearly see. Sure, they cost more DNA, but when you have a lot of DNA, that one DNA difference doesn't really matter. I'll tell you that. Now, we have a semi-aquatic. We have a semi-aquatic little boy. We can't really go wrong with this. And he'll just run around and eat things. And he's also semi-aquatic. Now, you could just make him only, like, aquatic or only land. But as you can see, he swims, which is good for escaping apexes. Now we'll scurry onto land. Legs make you spawn on the land. We find that thing. Now, this thing is pretty good. It's pretty good for its size, in my opinion. It can kill, it can hunt, and it can unleash its senses like Nerd Scummy clusters do. He's coming in the water. This is an NPC, I think. I can't get him. Now, if you wanna, now once you get like 150 DNA, you're gonna wanna cook up something better. Now, once you have that, now what we're gonna want to do? Let's put those down so that we can put spikes on the top. Now let's replace where the thing is. This now hear me out. We're gonna want to put another intestine there in our first segment. Yes, so we have it. It's glorious, the first segment. These are crucial for making apexes. Now, we're going to want to add legs, which are going to do leg things. Sometimes you got to put a little brain there because right now we don't have to do that, but it's gonna be a big problem when you add a bunch of segments. Now, let's add some eyes. Let's add some good eyes. So this thing's health, not too bad. No. Shell is pretty crucial for health. Now, we have a little boy. He does more damage. He's not semi-aquatic. You can make him, but he'll have a lot more appetite, or he'll have a lot less health. This thing has almost double the normal thing's health. Now we're gonna kill. We're gonna get our first kill. For the first two, Spikes was just defense. Now it's offense. Now it's both. We enjoy our Happy Meal. We venture off into the nowhere. Sometimes if you good enough, if you're pro enough, you can take down creatures bigger than you. I'll tell you that. Another thing, we have a little boy, and he'll attack what he desires. Right now I recommend killing NPCs because they aren't really the top of the food chain. Now, once you get like 200, we're gonna want to make a big thing, a big boy, a big boy, big boy. Now we're gonna want to. Now, if you don't know how to resize plot, go back to where I showcased it. I'll tell you everything, I think. Now, we can't really go wrong with this. We'll make that, so pretty good. Now, you know what we add. Now, hear me out. We're gonna add. Oops, got it. Now we're gonna add more spikes, obviously. This is gonna be a big boy. It's gonna deal big boy damage. Now once we have this, what? I'm making a video right now. Now, you could put them on the electrolyte, or you don't have to follow these, but if you want. But I recommend putting electrolyte because parasites. If you want to look goofy, you could put them on the back. Or if you just want to look average Joe, you could put them on the side. I'll tell you that. Now here we have a little boy. And a little bow. Oops. Now, see that negative appetite? We're going to want to take advantage of that. What do I mean by that? So let's add these. This thing already costs 100 DNA. Now you're going to want to add some of that. Add some of this, add some of that. This thing has pretty good health. I'll tell you that. Oops. Now we have a little boy. He'll move around, he'll eat, he'll enjoy his breakfast, he'll enjoy some breakfast. Now this is where brains get more recommended because soon it's gonna like put it in that segment, which we're not gonna want. Which we're not gonna be a fan of that. Now, there's a glitch where if you put your camera in the water, it lets you zoom out much further. I already had the glitch. I recommend doing that every time you spawn. Now we have prey. We have a yummy dude. He's yummy. You could turn into dinner, and that's what we care about. If you can turn into a dinner. You don't have to kill. Sometimes you could just eat some plants and call it a day, because it has a herbivore mouth, which by the way gives you an extra 5 DNA and gives you double the amount of food. As you can see, we can chow down on plants. We could act like the Chow Chow cat food. You know that brand of cat food? That's what we can act like. We'll eat it and we'll unleash our senses. Yeah. We have one of these guys. They're really annoying. Now, when you get low, you run. You run for dear life. You act like this is. I recommend acting like this is skeletal shenanigans if that happens, and then just running off into the distance, into the nowhere. Now, once you get like 300 DNA, you're gonna want to cook. This is where we can cook. This is where we could cause havoc. Now, see that little spot there? That's crucial for when you make big boys, because then you can't get things under you. So, what we're gonna do to fix that, first let's add some of these. Now, time to add guts. These things are crucial, in my opinion. Now, we add, obviously, a herbivore mouth. If you don't want to die of... This is where fighting is going to become really important soon, so that you could get your fill more. Now we're going to add spikes, because simply the answer is why not. We're going to add some spikes on the top. Now we're going to want to add some on the bottom. Now we're going to add stomachs. These things, we add a stomach, we call it a day. And we're going to add some more stomachs. Like that much, I recommend that. I usually like to make these 3 segments long. Right now you're currently building a small apex. Now, see that negative appetite. Negative 158. You're going to want to take big advantage of that. I still recommend these right now. But once you make average Joe-sized apexes, I recommend adding bottom legs. Now, if you still want to kill little boys on the ground, that's what I recommend. No. Now you could add... No. These add no appetite, so don't worry about your appetite yet. This is what you should start worrying about. The spikes only take away 0.5 torque. Now we fully shell this thing. Now if you don't want to just replace, now if you don't want to kill the little boys without using electrolyte vitamins, which you can only take away 6 HP with right now, remove the spikes and replace them with shell. If you want to not kill the things that are too below you for you to eat up, Although I don't really think you could even eat it up because they're too below you. Now, we're gonna add some shell on the top. See that negative appetite? Sometimes I recommend using up all of that negative appetite until it's at 0. Because it still treats it as 0. You're not gonna have slow appetite. And what I recommend is putting shell in these little corners, these little curly corners. Now, you might want to save this. Name it whatever you want. Now, you have a lot. Now, this is where brains are recommended. See, that's why. That's what it does if you don't add brains. Now, if you want to get a lot of DNA, add a bunch of brains. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now you could save this. So if you saved it already, delete the save and then I'll show you how to delete a save if you don't know. Now, you're gonna want to go to the save things. See that little trash can? Click it. Cancel, which is don't delete it, and confirm, which is delete the save. Now you're gonna want to save this one because this one gets more DNA every age, and it also is balanced. He's pretty chunky. But now you could reach things on the ground more easily. Oh, ow. My connection is trying to kill me, which I'm not a fan of. I'm trying to make a video right now, sir. Okay, please don't. Now, these spikes slow you down. So if you want, you could remove them. Now you're chasing down prey. Turn them into dinner, as you can clearly see. You gain a lot of DNA because you have brains, a lot of them. Life is good, I think, for you, unless you're in a very chaotic server. Right now I'm in a peaceful one, a dead server. Now, right now, I still recommend going in small servers. Let me check how much DNA this thing costs. So once you have like 350 DNA, you're going to want to use this, or just 300. Like around those two numbers. Like, you don't have to go like in between, but like around like those two if you want to make this, I think. Make this when you have that much. 660. And I think you need one more. Make this. You could experiment in the meantime while you don't have enough DNA to make it. But you're going to need 460 DNA. I think the game's going to make it so that you need one more. I think that's what it does. So you might want to get one more to make this thing. Now, you don't have to make all the things, but I really recommend electrolytes now. Like, really. Like, they're like vital at this size. Now once you get a decent amount of chunk of change, like, it's like around 1,000, like exactly 1,000 or over 1,000, you're going to want to make your first Leviathan. Now, once again, resize plot 5, 5, and 24. See, Now I have a pretty decently sized pot. Now once you have that, you're gonna want to add electrolyte vitamin. Now you're gonna want to add some more guts. Now, if you want, you could just add one brain. So that's what I'm gonna do. Meat's not really recommended unless you don't feel like adding shell, because these don't take away swim speed. Look at that. But they do cost more DNA than shell, I'll tell you that. Now, we're gonna want to add stomachs. Now, we have a decent amount of stomachs. Now, because of that, we're gonna want to add our first stinger. Those deal 3 damage and stun your creature for 2 seconds. I mean, your target. So yeah, as you can clearly see, I think it has a cooldown. So now, this is what you can do. Now we're gonna add now we have, you know, a pretty decent amount. Now right now I'll recommend putting spikes on the bottom. You could copy me or just build something different than this. I'm just showing examples. You don't have to do this. I am just showing examples. Now, I think now once you get this much DNA, you're probably gonna know about something known as phasing. Now, phasing is when a creature like phases through your shell and damages you, even though you literally have shell. It's really annoying, but it lets you build some killing machines. That's what I have to say for myself. Sometimes you get targeted because you're an apex. Like, I think it happened to me yesterday. This whole parasite thing with one of all of these kept stunning me for no reason at all. Sometimes you get targeted because you're a big boy and you're strong, and people tend to have a high egos, including me, I think. So because of that, they're gonna want to attack you like a hive mind. Now, once we have a kind of slender build, like this is an example. You're going to want to put bottom legs. Now, now you're going to want to put shell wedges. Then we're going to put that in this formation so that we have room for bottom legs. Ah, yes. Now. Oh, wait, oops. I forgot to. How could I be this opposite of smart? How could I be this dumb? Now we're talking. Now we're back and rolling. Now let's add these legs. Now, right now, you might want to click this if there's some things that you don't like. I recommend turning auto rotate off. That's what I recommend. in green screen off because like it doesn't let you see the limit. Right now I recommend putting them in this formation because that's what I usually do. Well, these are just examples. You can really put them in any formation. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Just another reminder. Another reminder. Oops. These are just examples. Just full-on examples. You don't have to like do exactly what I'm doing. These are examples. I'm currently yapping a lot because I think yapping is what I do best. Now, whatever. I'm gonna stop yapping and start building. Now, once we have something that looks like this, we add top things because things can attack you from the top sometimes. Now we add these. This is going to use up a lot of your DNA. Now, as you can clearly see, health 200. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I'll tell you that. Now this thing has like a lot of DNA risk. Like, DNA risk is really important. You could just add normal shell things though. But if it goes above how much you have, if you're in a chill server, you don't have to put things on the bottom because there might not, but if you encounter one of those things that go onto you and attack, you're going to want to despawn it and put them shell on your creature. That's what you'll want to do. Now we have our first Apex and no more tutorial, okay? You can do now you've learned all the basics. You can do things on your own. I think you'll learn some advanced things. Now you're on your own now. And you could just build whatever you want after this. Once you make enough DNA to build it. Once you get like 10,000, you could basically just experiment. Now anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, which you probably didn't because it's literally a tutorial. But anyway, I hope you've learned a lot of things on how to play this game from this tutorial. And thank you for watching, and bye.